All right. Well, I will get started then. We are at 11:01. Thank you all so much for being here for our March into May 101. It's all about learning all the aspects of March into May. We're here to answer any questions that you have. And then we will also advertise some of the activities we have going on with March into May that can get you moving and get you socialized with county employees and your March into May team. So as we go throughout, if you have a question, you can throw it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself at the very end and we can answer anything that may be pending. Let's jump right in. Here are some important dates for March into May. It is going to begin on March 31st. That's this upcoming Monday. And then it will end on May 9th. There will be a week afterwards in your Well Steps account following May 9th where you can go back and record any steps that may be missing or steps that weren't synced from your wearable technology. But just know that actually recording steps will end on May 9th. Make sure I mute everybody. Okay. It is the 15th anniversary of March into May, and the theme this year is Stepping Through Time. So as a county and as we gain more steps, we are actually going to step through different historical eras and even visit some historical sites. So you will see that within our marketing, and you will also see it with some of the activities that we'll be hosting. And I'll give you some more details about that as we go through the presentation. But you may be wondering, how does my team earn points? So participants must record at least 32 out of the 42 days in Well Steps for steps. So like Trudy had mentioned, on Well Steps, it will begin on Monday. You will have the opportunity to actually put your steps in manually or to sync it using some sort of wearable technology. It could be your Apple Watches, it could be your Fitbits, it could be your Stravas. There's many different ones that are compatible with Well Steps to sync, or you can just manually throw those in. But just recording at least 32 days and then completing our post survey, you will earn 100 points towards your annual incentive. And then I like to go over some barriers that you may face with March into May. We know with Utah springtime, we have all kinds of weather. It usually snows a couple of times during March into May. And so we have some ways you can overcome obstacles. And the first one being, of course, weather. So being prepared, bringing layers to work, maybe bringing different types of shoes based on the weather that day, even utilizing some of our rec centers or big big places where you can walk, like the mall or Shields is a great place. And I know that Shields allows you to bring doggies in. So if you need to take your pet for a walk there as well, or you can even do different types of movement. We will go over the step conversion chart, but maybe if the weather is bad, staying in and maybe following some movement activities on YouTube or having a dance party with your loved ones or walking up and down the stairs at your workplace, finding different ways to get that movement in. And then the next one I want to talk about is motivation. Motivation is typically really high at this point with March into May. People are very excited. The weather is changing, so it might put that spark in your step. But we do typically see a dip around week 4 to week 6 of the challenge. So remembering your why as to why you're engaging in this and having a strong why is going to keep you motivated. So, of course, if we're doing March into May for camaraderie and we know we have a dip in those week 4 and week 5, maybe that's when we're planning most of our walks with coworkers or with family members or with pets, being more intentional about planning those activities. You could also switch from a growth mindset versus a deficit mindset. Instead of thinking of all the steps you didn't get, thinking of the ones that you did to keep you motivated. And then relying on your team members for some support and celebrating each other's daily wins. Another way to do this is to incorporate movement into the things that you're already doing. So, for example, if you're typically waiting for the coffee machine each morning, maybe that's when we do some squats or calf raises. Or if you need to set reminders for yourself, we can do calendar invites, we can do post it notes, maybe setting a timer on your watch to get up and get moving, and finding different ways to move with things that you're already doing. So if you're waiting in line somewhere, maybe again, doing some of those calf raises. Um, if you are picking up a child from like a sporting event, maybe doing some getting there early and doing some laps right before, just finding ways to incorporate movement in things that you're already doing, which is also fantastic when there is a lack of time. So some ideas for if you have a lack of time is moving while being on the phone. Of course, I mentioned taking the stairs, getting active while watching TV, maybe commercial breaks, or if you're watching March Madness and you can do those during some timeouts. You can move in 5-minute bursts. So when it comes to activity, sometimes we think we need to go for an hour walk to see results, but even just 5 minutes can make a huge impact on our overall health. So you can do these in spurts. You can take the long way to the restroom at your workplace. You can, if you're taking out the garbage can, maybe walking the block after you do so and coming back, little things like that really do add up. And if you're having any sort of health difficulties or injuries, utilizing our step conversion chart for activities that feel good in your body and doing a proper warm up and cool down can be a great way to restore recovery and to also make it so we're not increasing those injuries. And this is also a great time to invest in some proper footwear. This is a fantastic time to go out to your local shoe store and get you some shoes that make you feel good and make you want to walk. And then maybe taking those pair that you haven't used in a while and donating them to our Souls for Souls, which we'll get into if you haven't heard of that quite yet. And then, of course, taking time to heal. We don't want people to go, super hard these first 2 weeks and then have shin splints and be so sore the rest of the time. So pacing yourself right out of the gate. And then if you have a lack of skill and you want to enhance your skills when it comes to movement, we have so many workshops on our website that we can share with you. We have hiking 101, walking 101, swimming, we have trail running, biking, all of those things. So if you want to start some sort of new movement, those can be a great resource to learn, or even going to a class. I love to highlight our Parks and Rec department, especially because we have so many different sites, but maybe even going to one of their locations and trying out a class with your March into May team could be a fun way to spice up the challenge. Now I'm going to pass the baton over to Trudy to talk about tracking your wearable technology.
Sorry about that. Wonderful. Thank you, Sadie, so much. So we're going to talk a little bit about your wearable technology. So as Belinda asked before, is it possible to do both a wearable device and then track your steps manually? So we're going to go over that really quick, and I'm going to share my screen and walk you through how to sync your technology. We also have a short how-to video and a sheet to help walk you through that. But what you're going to do is you're going to go to wellsteps.com. Your username will be your 6-digit or 7-digit EIN number. We're using a test account today, so ignore the letters on here, but know that yours will be your 6-digit or 7-digit EIN number. And then you'll do your password. If you forgot your password, you're just going to click on Forgot Password right here. Then you'll put in your 6-digit or 7-digit EIN number. Please don't use your email address. I know that we often use our email addresses for everything, but your EIN number is a unique identifier. So once March into May actually starts next Monday, you'll see the campaigns tab active, and it will say March into May there. So you're just going to click on that, and that will take you into the dashboard. You will only be able to do the weeks that have passed. So for instance, week 1 will be the first week. If you get to week 2, we're in week 2 and you forgot to record your steps, you can always go back and click on week 1 and go put those in, or if you want to check. So right here is where you're going to sync your wearable fitness device. So when you click on that, it will give you the options for you to be able to select from. If you have already synced your device and you want to change your sync device, you can click on change and it will allow you to change your device if you've already synced it last year and you have a different device. But right here in the drop-down menu, it will let you select either Apple Health, Fitbit, Garmin, Health Connect, which is pretty much any Android device. We'll sync there, MapMyFitness, and Strava. So if you have Google Play, Fit, a few others, MapMyFitness will convert for that. So once you've synced your device, I always just suggest to everyone to make sure that it's syncing right here under step 1. So the first week, just go in and check. Every now and again, your device will unsync for some unknown reason. Sometimes if your power is low or you're in an area where you're not connected to internet. So keep that in mind. And that's when you can record manually your steps. So you can do both. If you find that for some unknown reason, your wearable device did not track your activity that day, then you can use our step conversion chart, and we'll go back to that in just a minute, to put your steps in manually here. Or say you've had your wearable device on all day, but you're going to go swimming and you don't want to have your wearable device in the pool, you can use the step conversion chart. You have your wearable device activities here this day, and then you can put in your swimming steps down here. One thing to note when you're doing this is do not use a comma or any other letters or other special characters, because it will, once you click on submit, it usually will take anything prior to that and it will take away the numbers from that. So it's not, sorry, I'm gonna go back to that first page.
You say
As you
that
see,
again. Don't click on what?
don't put any special characters in with your steps. So don't put a comma like 5,005, 200, because then it will only show 5 steps. So anything prior to the special characters, it will capture, but it won't capture your totals. So if you're going to put in 5,200, put 5200, leave out the comma. So that will help you make sure for your manual steps that you get the correct amount. All right. any questions? I think Sadie is taking care of the questions in the chat, so thank you very much for that. One other thing while we're here is you're going to go to your team room. You'll see your steps. No one else will be able to see your steps. So please know that is private to you. The rest of your team members will not be able to see how many steps you're getting in each week. This just helps you with your goals and so that you can see what you're doing each week. We encourage you to try to challenge yourself to increase your movement each week. So maybe you start a little lower, and as you get through the weeks, you set a goal for yourself to try and reach. And hopefully you'll accomplish that by the 6th week. You'll also see your team's overall average here, and then the companies, so Salt Lake County instead of Hudson Test Company, Salt Lake County's overall average. So you can kind of compare your team or yourself to Salt Lake County's overall average. For total steps, you'll see the team rankings. And right now, there's not much in there, but you will see all the teams listed, and it will show the rankings for each group. So just know that that's in there. And then the other thing you can do is click on See My Team. It will list everybody that is on your team with the email addresses. If you're just doing it on your own, then you will not see this option. But for those that are on teams, and if you want to send your team an email, just congratulating everyone or doing a fun encouragement or inviting them to the next walk or hike event, you can do that. You just click right here, email team. You can put in the subject and type in a message and then just send the email. And that will send an email to all of your team members. All right, I am going to stop sharing my screen and we'll go back to our slides. If Sadie, you can share the slides again for me. Thank you so much. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the conversion chart for March into May. If you are doing something other than just walking and you are wanting to use the step conversion chart, you can go into the chart and we have all kinds of activities listed here. If you have ones that are not listed on here, just reach out to us. We'll be able to get those added for you. But how this works is you'll go and find the activity on the chart. For instance, you would go to, say you were outside, do some gardening and you didn't have your wearable device on. You could go down to gardening and see that it's 131 steps per minute. And if you did 30 minutes, you would just multiply those two and you would get 3,930 steps in. So that's when you could put that in your manual steps for that day. We even have snow shoveling on here. So hopefully, knock on wood, we won't have any more snowstorms. But if we do, you can use that as well. It seems like every year we challenge ourselves with the weather. And then if you want to just mix and match those up throughout the weeks, or if you want to do group challenges, you can definitely do that. For the next slide, we're going to be talking about the different divisions. So you saw the team totals. What we do is we know that we have some employees that may be on their feet all day, and we have some that may be working at their desk all day and cannot take a lot of breaks to get steps in. So we have created different divisions, and after the first 2 weeks, we will put you into different divisions. Now know that these can change. So if you have a teammate that hasn't put their steps in for the first couple of weeks and then goes back and put their steps in, it may switch you into a different division. So just be aware of that. Sadie has come up with some awesome division names for this year to tie in with our theme. So we have Renaissance Rovers, Viking Voyagers, and Gladiator Striders. You will know what division you're in from your team captain. We will send those reports to your team captain. Those that are doing on your own, you will not have to worry about being put into one of these categories. You'll just be doing that on your own. But for those that are on teams, your team captain will let you know what division you're in and where you stand. So each category will win a prize, a trophy. So whoever placed first in each of those three categories will get our coveted cup trophies that we rotate every year around to the different divisions. But we also have some different categories that we are going to be offering prizes for this year as well. So best team name, most Souls for Souls donations, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, and most attended activities as a team. So as you see the activities that we're going to be talking about in just a little bit, if you attend those as a team or get most of your team members to attend those in person, then that would put you in, help you get a prize for that category. We also have a few other surprises, such as the Social Stepper Award. So we took some of your comments. We won't share all of the categories that we're going to be doing this year, but at our award ceremony, we will have a few other surprises. So make sure that you attend our award ceremony at the end of March into May. That will be May 21st. So our Social Stepper Award, we'd like to highlight that is you'll be able to take an epic photo to showcase either your journey or your team's journey, a way that they are getting in their steps or some unique way of movement. Or if you just want to dress up to match the theme for that week, for that time era, and you want to highlight that, you can do that. And you can either share that on Facebook or the WellSteps social page. You'll be able to go in and share that photo and enter into the Social Stepper. We love to see all the photos, and we will have a voting at the end of the March into May for the favorite photo. So those are some ideas on how we will be doing prizes. I'm going to turn the time over back to Sadie, and she's going to talk about some of our activities that we have coming up.
All right, thank you. One of our first activities is our kickoff walks, and we'll be hosting these throughout the county. These are the ones that we have been made aware of. You may have one at your work site already planned, not on this list, but I just want to highlight some if they are close to your work site or at your work site so that you know and you can join in on the fun. So we actually have one happening tomorrow at Environmental Health. They're going to do theirs at noon. West Jordan District Attorney's Office will happen tomorrow as well at 2 o'clock. Everyone at that site meet at the flagpole. Capitol Theater will actually be hosting 2 kickoff walks, one on March 28th, the other on April 1st. And then the Metro Jail will be hosting a kickoff walk March 31st, the first day of March into May, all day. So they'll have different groups based on your breaks and your shifts. And I've listed the contact person for each one if you want to reach out for more details. We will be at the Government Center on April Fool's Day, April 1st at 11 a.m. We will meet at the flagpoles as well. DA Downtown will also host theirs on April 1st. Same with Youth Services. Taylorsville Library will have walks throughout the day on April 1st. And then Whitmore Library and South Redwood will host theirs on April 2nd. And then Daybreak Library is going to do walks all week long to celebrate the beginning of March into May. So again, if you're at one of these sites, I would encourage you to join the kickoff walk. I also have listed for these activities in the right-hand corner some steps that you could look forward to with some of these activities. So just depending on how long the walk is, I have an estimate of how many steps you'll get for that activity. And you'll see that as we go throughout the presentation. And it looks like there might be a reschedule for West Jordan DA tomorrow. Keep us updated on that, and we can send that on over. All right. And then if you're unable to make it to any of these kickoff walks, we do guided walks and hikes throughout March into May. And the first one will be next week at Wheeler Farm on April 2nd at 6 p.m. Actually, all of these hikes and walks will take place at 6 p.m. We'll also be out at Daybreak Lake on April 10th. April 18th, we'll make it up to Bells Canyon Reservoir. May 2nd, we'll be at Dimpledale and Sandy. And then on May 9th, we'll be at the Draper Suspension Bridge. This is a picture from last year, the one on left at Wheeler Farm. It was a very cold day, but we still had a great turnout. We had about 70 participants come to that. So that was lots of fun. And then the one on the right is at the Draper Suspension Bridge. I do want to highlight, you can bring your dogs to these hikes and walks, except Bells Canyon. But Wheeler Farm, Daybreak Lake, Dimpledale, and Draper, you can bring your doggie if you would like. They have to be on a leash, and then of course bringing anything to help clean up after them. But we would encourage them to come as well. And these ones, we get quite a few steps, about 6,000 to 9,000 steps. And we are continuing our tradition of Steps on Ice. Last year was the first time that we did it, but we have actually rented out the County Ice Center for all of you and your family, friends, and March into May teams. So April 4th from 7 to 9 p.m., we are going to be blasting music in the ice rink, and we'll have free admission for you and free skate rental. And Snowplow Sam will be there to have some fun with the kiddos and to skate around the rink. So this is a lot of fun. And depending on how quickly you can skate, it's about 3,000 to 7,000 steps you can expect to get. And also that depends on how long you last on the ice too. But it's a lot of fun, especially if you haven't done this in a long time. It's fun to get out there and see, if you still got that skill of ice skating. Earth Day always falls on March into May on April 22nd. And we like to celebrate by walking the International Peace Gardens as a group. And then we do a cleanup on the Jordan River that's connected. So if you would like to join us for that, we will have all of the registration links on our newsletters and our weekly lineups that will be going out throughout March into May. And we can also include them in the chat as well. But this is a lot of fun. So if you want to bring, again, family, friends, March into May teams, meet us at 6 p.m. at the International Peace Gardens, and we can celebrate Earth Day together. All right. We'd like to host a 5K as well. And this will happen on April 25th at Veterans Memorial Park in West Jordan from 4 to 6. And when it comes to the 5K, it's however you want to participate. If you are a competitive soul and you want to take off as soon as we say go and be the first to the finish line, we encourage you to come. We'll have prizes, we'll have medals. And if you're somebody who just wants to enjoy being outside, to stroll around, again, you can bring your furry friends to this one as well. We encourage that. It can be a fun run or walk. And I did hear some rumors that we're going to have the smoothie bike at this event. So if you want to make smoothies by being on a stationary bike, come see what that's all about. And then lastly, on May 21st, we will have our March into May award ceremony. So we'll have different activities, we'll have music, we'll have refreshments, but we'll also be awarding those who won March into May. And then also some of the things that Trudy had mentioned, the Social Stepper Award. We'll even have the best team name, the most Souls for Souls donations, and all of those other prizes at the award ceremony too. So it's just a great way to celebrate the biggest program of the year. All right. And then another thing that we are doing this year is walking workshops. And you may have seen that we've done this for other activities as well. But what we're hoping is when you're listening to these workshops, is possibly moving your body in any way. So that could look like putting in your headphones and calling into these workshops and walking your workplace, or even listening to the recording and walking. You could stretch at your desk, you can march at your desk, just getting your body moving while you're listening to the workshops. They're 30 minutes. They have very minimal slides or information that you need to be looking at your screen. We've designed them that way. And they're going to follow our theme of stepping through time. So you can see the first one's happening on April 2nd from 11:30 to noon, and it's all about walking the Silk Road. We'll even have steps on the moon. We'll talk about women who walked for change, and we'll talk about historical trails and then pathways to lasting well-being that is inspired by the Renaissance. So this is a fun way to celebrate our theme and to get you moving. Again, these will be recorded, so if you're unable to come during these times, you can listen on your own time and still earn points and get those steps by listening. Here is a QR code that will take you to our calendar, and then I've included to our website that can take you to all of the things that we have mentioned so that you can register for any of those activities that interest you. I'll just leave that on there for a second. And we'll send that out too with our follow-up message. I'll turn the time back over to Trudy to talk about Souls for Souls.
All right. So for the past few years, we have partnered with a group called Souls for Souls to do a shoe drive during March into May. So the shoes go to micro enterprise programs in developing countries around the world and programs here in the United States to encourage teammates to participate. We, suggested earlier that, you get a new pair of shoes and break those in for March into May. So maybe you can donate your old pair to this program. One of the things too they're doing this year is they're also helping California wildfire victims. So when you go to their website, you'll see that first and foremost in the top, but they will also still work with developing countries as well. So we will take all types of shoes, from sandals to snow boots, kids' dance shoes to ice skates, and everything in between. The only thing that we ask is that you do not donate any shoes with holes in the soles or on the sides where there would be really good support. We also ask, if possible, if when you do donate them, if you could tie the pair of shoes together, or if they don't have shoelaces, rubber band them together. That just helps us with packaging them, boxing them up, and sending them out. So on the next slide, it will show the offices that we have had success in the last couple of years. So last year, our #1 donation areas were Mill Creek and Gene Fulmer, who collected 225 pairs each at each section. Also like to shout out Whitmore Library. They were our 2023 winners with 256. Last year, our total collection was 1,734 pairs of shoes. It was amazing. The year before that, we had like 982, and we doubled that. So this year, we're keeping our goal at about 1,500, just because we don't have as many donation sites, but you just never know. We just might knock that goal completely out of the park. The next slide will show the kickoff locations that we currently have. So if your office does not have a collection box, you can go to one of these locations and drop them off, or You can also bring them to any of our activity events. So Steps on Ice, we will have a box there. We would highly recommend that you just bring them to our awards ceremony on May 21st. So if any of these sites are not close to you, you have some, just go ahead and bring them to the awards ceremony. They do not have to be running shoes. They can be any type of shoes. So we had ice skates donated last year, tap dance shoes, snow boots, sandals, any type of shoe. They will find a home for them. There are people out there that are in need of dance shoes. And so, or snow boots, depending on the area that they live in. So we'll take anything. So just be aware of that. And then again, even if you just want to save some up under your desk and then just bring them to the March into May award ceremony, you can do that as well. The donation sites will have their boxes until about May 14th, and then we'll do a final collection so that we can get a count for the award ceremony. So just be aware of that. And yes, slippers as well. Sorry. Thank you for adding that. We had a lot of slippers donated last year, and there was a thank you sent in regards to slippers because I wasn't sure if they would take slippers, and they did. So there was a great thank you for that. Most importantly, for the next slide, we just really want to express for you to all have fun. Be creative in the ways that you get your movement in. Try something new if you haven't tried something before and you want to try something new, or get out with your team and just have some fun. It doesn't have to be a walk around the park. It can be playing games, or it can be dressing up for the time era and going for a little march around the office. Whatever you feel so inclined to do, we just want you to have fun. This competition is not about how many steps other teams are getting in. It's about finding creative ways to move your body and enjoy throughout the time. So Sadie, I'll turn the time back over to you to see if you have anything else you would like to share. Otherwise, we can open it up for questions.
Yes, what questions do you have? I did see some on if it's adult shoes or can we also do kid shoes? Yes, kid shoes are included, as well as slippers, like Trudy had said. And then we had someone say, how many pairs of shoes can I donate? And I said, as many as you like. We will take them.
There is no limit on shoe donations for sure.
M23, ajá. Amy?
While we're waiting for questions to come in through the chat, I'm going to share one other part of Well Steps really quick for the social page. I didn't get a chance to show you all how to add your epic picture to our social page. So from the campaigns tab, you can simply click on the menu on the top right corner. And just where it says share, you can click on that. And you can either share a comment, or you can share a picture or a video. You can add the comment right here, and then you can click on this little icon to upload an image or a short video. I believe there is, the videos need to be pretty short to upload those. And then once you've done that, you just click on post. You can even just let us know, hey, our team is going to do a fun activity at Parks and Rec. We're going to go play pickleball at one of our Parks and Rec places. You can share that, or you can take pictures of your team. So just wanted to show you how to go in and do that social page.
And Jennifer had a question about donations. They are not by team, but location. That is correct. So, for instance, if you're at the government center, it could be HR, IT, and other offices that are getting their donations. So, yes, exactly. It's by location.
And if
And
you,
yes, Valina, if you want to share with the group the new calendar subscribe functionality, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I figured it would be a good time since we have a group here. I'm just gonna share my screen really quick, if you don't mind.
No prob.
All right. So on the county calendars, all the county calendars, I've created this new button here called subscribe to this calendar here. And this is a way you could get this calendar into your Outlook calendar, and it happens on all the calendars. So you just simply hit the subscribe to calendar button. And I actually use the iCalendar subscribe. And then you could probably just either click this link here. There's more information if you want to find out more about how to do like a Google Calendar or something like that. And you've hit this yellow button here and open it in Outlook. It'll open it in Outlook. It might throw a little error when you do open it in Outlook. That's something that I don't know what's happening. That's all Outlook stuff. But once you open it in Outlook, and you might have to reset Outlook, but you go to your Outlook calendars here. I'm sorry, this is really small, but there's a one here I could click on for the employee wellness calendar. So I have the employee wellness calendar along with my, other calendar that I have for my work calendar, all right here within Outlook. So, and you could do that with any of the calendars across the county website now. You get to subscribe to as many as you would like to have if you want to see side by side what all the different events are happening. So that's, yeah, new functionality I created for the website. That's all I got. How do you get there? It's just on the employee wellness calendar under the start date and end date filters. There's a button that says subscribe to this calendar. And it's on the same place in every calendar on the county website. So if you want to do the main events calendar, or if there's another calendar, you want to do it. Yeah. Okay, that's all I got.
Thank you. I've put in the chat the employee wellness calendar. If you want to use that link, go straight to it. And then, yeah, there's a subscribe to this calendar. And then we had some other questions. I'm going to bring up the Souls for Souls donation sites once again for those who want to find one near them. If you already have shoes and you're doing some spring cleaning and you want to donate.
and all of these sites already have their boxes, so you can go to any of them and donate at this time. We do actually have a few sites that have already had full boxes, so that is exciting. The downtown DA's office and South Redwood Public Health Center are already had to have a pickup. So congratulations to all of you.
And then Heather had a question of when do we get our teams? And I was wondering, Heather, if you had signed up to be put on a random team or if you already had a team that you were expecting to be on. If you want to send me that clarification, I can answer your question a little bit better. Random team. Okay.
So you'll get a report tomorrow morning letting you know who is on your team and who your team captain is. We are just waiting for a few replies for incomplete registrations before we put all the teams together. For those of you that signed to be on a team, your team captain has received reports with all of those listed that have joined the team, and heard back from most of the team captains that the teams are good to go. So if you're a team captain and you've not yet responded to the email from Friday, please just let us know that the report looks good to go so that we can get that submitted to WellSteps. Also, for those of you that may not have a WellSteps account, you should be seeing an email from WellSteps to register and get logged into your account either today or tomorrow morning. Kim is working on getting those all updated. And then if any of you have troubles accessing your account the way that we showed you earlier, please shoot us an email. We can do some troubleshooting and see what might be causing you to not be able to access your accounts.
And I just want to highlight that you do not have to do all these activities. Of course, I'm sure you know that, but it can be overwhelming when we are presenting them all at once. Pick and choose what's right for you, how you want to get involved. We just like to have these so that you have a group to go to when it comes to movement and different ways to incorporate movement when it comes into March to May. So pick and choose what you would like to join. We would love to see you at them all, but we completely understand that you do have lives. So keep that in mind as well. And if it's really just as simple as participating in March to May and logging your steps, that's fantastic too. But we are here if you have any questions or concerns. If you need anything added to the step conversion chart, please let us know.